Coming up on Fulton Today, the 2019 Georgia legislative session will tell you what's on tap for Fulton County.
County and city preparations for the biggest football game of 2019 enters the final stretch. I'm Brian Robinson, and I'll have more on this story coming up.
And Fulton expands behavioral and mental health services offered for county youth. That and much more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Well, we now know the teams competing in Super Bowl 53. And as they make their way to Atlanta to prepare for the big game, the county and the city of Atlanta continue preparations to ensure everyone has a fun and a safe time. FGTV's Brian Robinson joins us now with more on the story. Brian?
Shania, Fulton County's Director of Emergency Management expects 1 million people to arrive to the city during the days leading up to Super Bowl 53 here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Now, despite that influx of people in a short period of time, county and city officials say 2 years of planning and training have prepared them for this moment. Mercedes-Benz Stadium's temporary new look will soon be on display for the world to see.
We are so very thankful to all who will come to Atlanta to enjoy the Super Bowl.
Fulton County was one of the over 50 local, state, and federal partner agencies standing with Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms when she publicly spoke about the city's final preparations taking place ahead of Super Bowl 53.
2 years ago, we started this process. We got ready for college football. We were able to go to Houston and learn what they did there, try to bring some of those lessons learned, went to Minneapolis, kind of saw what they did, and then create our own plan during this last year.
Part of that planning includes crisis management and the procedures in place in the event law enforcement is unable to prevent a catastrophic event.
Our job is, if they can't prevent something from happening, how do we go ahead and respond to the consequences from that? How do we get our society back to the state of normalcy thereafter? And one of the things that we'll do is make sure we have our trauma hospitals in the room, our blood banks, our faith-based partners, our mass care partners, as well as just our other EMS partners, so that we can go ahead and coordinate our efforts. There's about 4 different EMS agencies that will be working during this event, as well as Atlanta Fire Rescue. And then we have 2 trauma hospitals that are in our footprint that we have to coordinate with. So if we see something like what happened in Las Vegas, we have a plan within the first 30 minutes to be able to go ahead and distribute 430 adults and pediatric patients to hospitals in our area to go ahead and get trauma care that they need.
Transportation has also been addressed. Fulton's Emergency Management Director says come downtown early if you're wanting to be part of the festivities.
I would say if any one of our citizens want to go ahead and enjoy Super Bowl, that first weekend is when you want to come down. Come down to this area. It's not going to be as crazy with all the other pomp and circumstance, but they open up that weekend for the locals to enjoy. That's the time to go to NFL Experience, to catch the free concerts in Centennial Olympic Park, and just to go ahead and immerse yourself in Super Bowl.
Starting this week, multiple streets around Mercedes-Benz Stadium are closed until after the Super Bowl for safety reasons. Safety is also the reason Atlanta police and their partners say they will be visible amongst the crowds. However, they are asking the public to be vigilant while having fun.
Please, if you see anything out of the ordinary, call 911 immediately. Let us deal with it. Lastly, more than anything, folks, we want you to come to Atlanta and we want you to have fun. This is fantastic, and I hope it's the first of many Super Bowls that we have here.
With one of the world's biggest sporting events taking place in our own backyard, having fun is sure to be on everyone's mind. Now, last year's college football championship helped Fulton County and the city of Atlanta prepare for these next 2 weeks. After Super Bowl 53 is complete, both governments will have exactly 14 months to get ready for the 2020 NCAA Men's Final Four. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Brian Robinson.
Thank you, Brian. After a first week of ceremony and introductions at the Gold Dome, state legislators get down to business with Fulton leaders watching closely. FGTV's Daryl Carver has more.
Now that the 2019 Georgia legislative session is underway, Fulton officials and leaders remain hopeful for support of their legislative agenda. It's an agenda that includes matching behavioral health funding from the state to support the county's $2 million investment in behavioral health services, and a request to expand anti-sex trafficking postings into restaurants, convenience stores, and gas stations, just to name a few. Behavioral health and sex trafficking are also among the issues new Governor Brian Kemp plans to immediately address now that he's in office.
Behavioral health, including The concerns that Fulton County has had for several years about the opioid crisis will be top of our legislative agenda. Specifically, the county is requesting to become a designated safety net provider, which will allow us to draw down additional revenues from the state and, of course, to serve more citizens. As it relates to sex trafficking, we've also been on the forefront of raising awareness about this epidemic in our county as well. The governor indicated in his State of the State address that he will be placing $100 million into the FY 2019 amended budget to address sex trafficking in Georgia.
Meanwhile, another interest to Fulton County government is the recommendation of the Secure, Accessible, and Fair Elections Commission, better known as the SAFE Commission.
They first met in April of 2018, and then for the balance of the year around the state, hearing from citizens and election groups, advocacy groups, and also meeting with vendors to look at options for a new system in Georgia. At the end of the year, they did recommend a computerized system that provides an electronic receipt.
To meet the timetables needed to roll out this new system in time for the 2020 presidential election, the General Assembly is expected to take up a vote on the State Commission's recommendation early in the session. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Daryl Carver.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, before leaving office, Governor Nathan Deal named 2 new Fulton County judges. The outgoing Georgia governor appointed former Deputy DeKalb County District Attorney Emily Richardson and Rachel Krause, a former partner at a national litigation firm. Now, Richardson is taking the seat of the retiring Superior Court Judge John Goger. Krause is replacing Judge Todd Markle, who Deal then appointed to the Court of Appeals. Meanwhile, there will soon be more new faces in the county's justice system. The Sheriff's Office begins training its new batch of jail staffers.
Universal precaution deals with us now being able to interact with someone else.
And to be able to work at the Fulton County Jail, these cadets must first pass the basic jailer certification class at the county's Public Safety Training Center in College Park.
We don't do mouth to mouth anymore. We do mouth to barrier. As a law enforcement officer, generally, all law enforcement officers are what we consider first responders. And basically what that means is that they have the skill set, mindset, and the ability to help a person in need when it comes to CPR, first aid, or just general care in itself.
During the 80-hour entry-level jail program, the cadets cover topics like emergency procedures, inmate rights, and discipline. They're also taught medical activities, including first aid, CPR, fingerprinting, and even self-defense.
This is very important because it is our responsibility to ensure that the inmates are safe, and that is one of the main things that we need to have training on to ensure that if anything happened, we can actually render aid before we get professional staff involved.
Now, when basic jailer certification is complete, Sheriff Ted Jackson will swear in the new cadets. They will then immediately get to work. Fulton's workforce development is helping some county youngsters find career opportunities. Youth between the ages of 16 and 24 visited the South Fulton Career Center to attend an orientation to learn about the requirements needed to receive assistance in starting a new career.
We have a lot of youth that's not really doing anything, and what we're helping them do is make better career choices for them. We're putting people to work here. We are getting their education, which is their GEDs for them, and we are just making a better opportunity for these youth.
Aimed at those who are in need of a GED, the eligible participants are taught resume building, interview, and leadership skills once they become a part of this program. They'll also learn financial skills like how to open and balance a checking account. And as an added bonus, Workforce Development is providing financial help for youngsters to earn their GED and be placed in a paid internship with Fulton County employers.
What did I learn here today? I would probably say that it's a good networking as well, and then if I do not qualify for one program, that I will be eligible for the next, and so that is my process right now.
I think it's great. It's very productive. I think this is very beneficial for the youth and for the community.
If you would like more information about these opportunities in the future, you can call the Workforce Development Office at 770-306-5202. And still to come on Fulton Today, Fulton announces a partnership dedicated to helping the homeless stay warm through the winter months. That story and more in our district by district coverage next. Fulton forms a partnership to help homeless citizens stay warm and also names a new vice chair. Here's this week's district by district coverage. We begin with Chairman Rob Pitts, who announces a joint effort to distribute 5,000 blankets to homeless individuals and families in Fulton County.
We're a very diverse county. The Indo-American community is a very important part of our community, and for them to see this need and to step forward without any encouragement from government really says a lot about the makeup of Fulton County and about the citizens of our Indo-American community. So this is a very timely gift on their part, and certainly those who are going to take advantage of these blankets will be served well as a result of this effort today.
Dr. Sharon Sheik of the Indo-American community reached out to the chairman's office with an idea of providing both short and long-term assistance to this population in need.
Coming from India, from the land of Mahatma Gandhi, coming to Atlanta, Georgia, the land of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., two people who taught us how to be selfless and how to take care of your brothers and sisters in need and be involved in community service.
The chairman and his community partners held a press conference at the Nicholas House to announce the donations. The blankets will be given out during this week's annual homeless count. Fulton's Board of Commissioners now have a new vice chairman. The board unanimously voted on Commissioner Lee Morris to fill the role in 2019. In 2018, the board developed a process to choose its vice chair that includes the order of district numbers and years on the commission.
I think it's important that every commissioner have an opportunity to be in this role, and that's one good thing about this process. And again, the way it's created is to some extent you have to have been here a little while before your turn comes.
The vice chairman presides over the meetings in the absence of the chair. Commissioner Morris was just sworn in for another 4-year term with 3 other re-elected members. District 4 Commissioner Natalie Hall addresses the Fulton County HIV/AIDS Prevention Care and Policy Committee for their first meeting of the year. The group met at the Southside Medical Center. Now, this committee replaces the former HIV and AIDS Task Force. However, many of the former members remain.
I think we've got a big agenda for 2019. Certainly, HIV continues to be a very serious issue here in Fulton County. I know that tonight we're going to be looking at medical care within the jails very specifically. I think we also want to just get some updates from the health department as they're having some leadership transitions there to make sure that we've got good communication with what's going on. And then I think looking forward, the whole reason this body exists is a plan to dramatically reduce HIV infections and dramatically improve the quality of life for people living with HIV. The strategy to end AIDS in Fulton County. We've seen it in New York, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., other places where they have this. It's had dramatic results, and we need to make sure that plan gets implemented and updated appropriately here for Fulton County residents so that we can see the benefit of that as well.
We have a lot of work to do. As you know, the situation with HIV and AIDS here in Georgia is devastating, and here in Metro Atlanta, so much more so. So we do have a lot of work to do.
Fulton has the dubious distinction of having one of the highest numbers of HIV and AIDS cases in the region, which means the work of this committee is critical.
Our charge is really to implement and monitor and evaluate the strategy to end AIDS that the Fulton County Task Force put together.
The committee is responsible for creating and recommending strategies and policies for the Board of Commissioners to consider for final approval. In District 5, it's that time of year again for the Black History Film Festival Essay and Film Competition. Like in years past, high school students living in Fulton County can compete for a $1,000 prize. The topic is why my unsung hero should be celebrated during Black History Month. Essays must be 1,500 words, typed double-spaced with an Arial 12-point font, and films should be 10 minutes or less.
Our annual Black History Film Festival includes our essay and film competition, plus a screening of films on the last Saturday of February. So we're always excited to have students contribute. High school students, essays are 1,500 words or less. So we're inviting, again, all students that live in Fulton County, high school students that live in Fulton County, whether APS or Fulton County Schools or any other independent school system or private school in Fulton County, to apply for our Black History Film Festival.
The deadline is February 15th, and the winners will be announced on February 22nd at the Black History Film Festival opening. You can send submissions to marvin.arrington@fultoncountyga.gov. And still to come on Fulton Today, Fulton's health team proudly announces the expansion of services now available to county youth. Fulton County expands its behavioral health services for young people. FGTV's Melissa Lewis has the story.
We are thrilled to be a partner to Fulton County, to be able to bring this program to Fulton and start it in North Fulton.
The excitement about the new partnership was evident because mental health experts and county leaders say the need is real. The need for more behavioral health services for young people struggling with addiction.
We know that really within Fulton County, certainly nationwide, but definitely within Fulton County and North Fulton, one of the biggest challenges we've had with teens and younger adults is growing substance abuse. We see it in the form of the opioid epidemic. We see it in terms of just drug use and alcohol misuse and abuse.
Fulton County's Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities hosted an open house to reveal news about the expansion of its behavioral health services by contract providers Chris 180 and Summit Counseling, and the new space renovated by the county's Dream Team.
They've taken a daycare and transitioned it into a group and individual therapy space for individuals that are in need of substance use disorder treatment.
The service expansion to teens and young adults in North Fulton, known as the Treehouse Program, is the result of Chris 180 receiving $2.5 million over a 5-year period from the U.S. Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
We'll be providing full biopsychosocial assessments along with treatment, case management, and wraparound services.
This is a partnership. It only works in that kind of vein because we could have never done it on our own. Hopefully you can see the benefit of, again, partnering with us, whether it's facilities, political leadership, promoting this in the community.
The grant allows Chris 180 and Summit Counseling to offer free outpatient support for youth and young adults ages 13 to 24 who are suffering or recovering from a substance use disorder, something this now mentor knows all about.
I started when I was 13, and today I'm 36, and I'm grateful to be in recovery for more than 5 years. And that's really what's brought me here, is the fact that I have recovery, and I know other people can have recovery well before they're 30.
The county outsourced behavioral health services in 2018 to increase efficiency and increase the number of citizens served by behavioral health. Fulton leaders are hopeful that Chris 180 and Summit Counseling will not only provide the service needed, but will also be on the front lines to hopefully even save lives. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Melissa Lewis.
Thank you very much, Melissa. Well, Fulton names a new leader for one of its most popular services. After 2 decades of successful leadership with the county, Ladisa Onilagu is now the Director of Senior Services. The department operates 4 senior multi-purpose facilities, 15 senior centers, 4 adult day programs, and home-delivered meal services, just to name a few.
One of the most important things is to communicate what's available to senior residents. Our Star Line logged over 12,000 calls in 2018, and I project that we're going to receive a lot more. So one of the focuses for this year is to make sure that we're messaging correctly the information that's available to seniors, collaborating more with external agencies that can also provide supportive services. And one other goal is to case manage more of our programs, which establishes an operational framework for our entire department.
Now, Ladisa was the former deputy of that department, and she will now lead over 130 employees and manage a $22.6 million budget. She replaces Dr. Pamela Rochelle, who was also promoted to the role of Deputy Chief over Health and Human Services. Fulton employees start the new year off right by focusing on their health and wellness.
Well, it's a new year. I've got goals, resolutions. I really want to lose weight and I want to get in shape.
Fitness classes at multiple county venues are being offered to employees as a way to not only keep employees healthy, but also a way to keep the county from overspending on medical coverage. Now, the less the government spends on employee health benefits, the more it can spend on services for county residents.
I think it's great because it's convenient. I can just come right over after work. It also encourages networking in a way because a lot of people in the class works in different departments and just team building.
Working with the employees, they have become my accountability partners. I've made some nice friends here. I got an opportunity to meet other people from other departments who has same mindset and same goals as I do.
If I could do it and I don't have to actually pay for it per se, because a lot of people worry about paying fees and not going after they paid the fee, but the motivation is you don't have to pay a fee and you still get great training from Ms. Donnie.
Fulton government has one of the largest county workforces in the state. Oh, I gotta get in there. Up next on Fulton Today, some local children are happy to learn about the importance of building self-confidence. Stay with us, everybody. Well, residents are being asked once again to offer input on their local libraries. The Atlanta Fulton Public Library System has begun its second round of public meetings for renovation projects. Now, library officials and the design and build team are sharing plans and details about the upcoming renovations of the Adams Park, College Park, Adamsville, Collier Heights, Cleveland Avenue, Ponce de Leon, and East Atlanta libraries. Each meeting gives residents a chance to ask questions about the renovation process, share comments, and learn about the expected closing and opening dates.
We're updating things like all the mechanical equipment, all the electrical equipment, the plumbing. We're getting new ceilings, new carpet, new paint. We're adding technology. We're including self-check machines. We're reconfiguring the library so that they make more sense in the 21st century.
After this week, there will be 3 more meetings as shown here. Each one starts at 6:30 in the evening. For more information, just log on to afpls.org. And finally, some young children learn a valuable life lesson. Happy, happy, happy. This book is a multicultural book about building self-confidence and self-esteem while promoting peace and unity.
I read Happy, 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 and it is written by my sister, Brenda M. Tillman. She is the poet B. Michelle, that's what a lot of people know her as. And she wrote this book because she wanted children to know, and actually everyone, because we've actually had people purchase this book for adults, but people know that happiness is a choice. You know, it's something that, you know, just like I was telling the children today, something can make us sad, something can make us upset, something can make us feel hurt, but we don't have to stay in that feeling all the time.
This reading session was a tie-in to the Atlanta Fulton Public Library System's celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday.
I had her to read this book in conjunction with Martin Luther King Jr. Day, because Martin Luther King Jr. talked about love and not hating.
Now, the event is just one of the many ways libraries across the county are remembering the life and legacy of the civil rights icon. To learn more about additional Dr. King celebrations at your local library. Once again, just log on to afpls.org. And before we go, our reminder that FGTV wants to connect with you online. Be sure to follow FGTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for up-to-date Fulton County news. And you can watch a replay of this show or any other FGTV program anytime on our YouTube channel. So please subscribe. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis Rucker. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.